Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the delay on this. Basically, I've been sick for the last week or so, and kind of lost my voice for a few days. I still kind of feel like crap, actually, but I just wanted to get this video up because there's some things I need to get off my chest about this pay-per-view. First off, looks like someone in management finally came to their senses and rethought the Don West heel turn situation. His heel persona was definitely toned down a lot, which made a huge difference. The announcers were focused on calling the show like they should be instead of constantly fighting with each other, so it's good they addressed that problem quickly before it became just unbearable to listen to. And I kind of hope Don West can keep his performance tapered down like this because before him and TNA just came off like two cheerleaders for the TNA product, and now it's more like two guys who can coexist even though they have two different viewpoints on what they're seeing, and I kind of like that better. And the funny thing about this is, after only one show, Don West is already much, much better at getting his viewpoint across than Mike Tenay is. West was actually making some really good, intelligent points, and Tenay just came off like a big idiot. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the ass-backwards booking in this company, but we've all been through that before. On to the matches, I'll start us off with the Ultimate X for the X Division title. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Jay Lethal Consequences Creed, and Suicide, now played by Christopher Daniels. Just a tremendous match. Tremendous. Really got the crowd pumped up. There were so many great spots here. I'd have to go back and rewatch it just to be able to name them all. I think all five guys got the opportunity to shine in this match, and it was a great showcase for what the X Division is all about. Guys busting their asses, giving the fans what they paid to see. Awesome stuff. Best match of the night by light years. The only thing I didn't like about it was Suicide winning the title. Alex Shelley was a great X Division champion, easily the best X champ in recent memory. His title reign was starting to get some good momentum behind it, and to take the belt off him after only 2 months was just stupid. Shelley deserved better. He should have kept that title at least until Slammiversary. So I didn't agree with the winner, but I'm not going to take away anything from the match, which was amazing. Go out of your way to see that one. And what made it even better, what made it even better, is that for the first time that I can remember in a long time, the X Division match wasn't just used to pop the crowd at 8 p.m. It was the last match before the main event. Like, the X Division title match actually meant something. Like, it actually had some significance again. I mean, it was treated like the double main event of the show, basically, which is exactly what it should have been. Very good. 6 knockout tag match, Roxy Taylor and Daphne versus the Beautiful People. The Beautiful People left Kip James in the back for once. Thank you. Did not agree with the booking here. I mean, you had two debuting new talents, Daphne and Madison Rayne, and this match really should have been all about them, and it wasn't. They didn't get to do that much, as it turns out. Daphne did the splash over the top rope, and then Madison Rayne got pinned by Taylor again. But, all the women worked hard, and the action was good for the 5 minutes and change that it lasted. For the time they got, they delivered a good match. But if you wanted this to go to pay-per-view, it needed to be about twice as long. Legends Championship match, AJ Styles and Booker T. AJ Styles won the match clean, which was exactly what I wanted to happen, exactly what needed to happen. Easily the best match of the night up to that point. Of course, it would almost have to be. Booker T worked a little harder than he has for the last 6 months. AJ busted his ass like he always does, and they had a solid match. Wasn't anything much more than solid, but compared to some of the other stuff that came before it, it was like a breath of fresh air. So now AJ is the new Legends Champion, so hopefully he can either make that title belt mean something or throw it in the trash. Either one is fine with me. Now, as for the rest of this pay-per-view, for the time being, let's just forget about the fact that a show with about an hour and a half of filler material somehow ended 10 minutes early. Oh my God, what happened here? This was a good card on paper. Jesus Christ, what the hell happened? Oh, God. All right, let's just start at the beginning, okay? Brutus Magnus Open Challenge, which was not advertised for the pay-per-view. I don't know why they're still doing this with Brutus Magnus, since he just lost a 4-minute web match to Homicide, but whatever. I stand by what I said before about Brutus Magnus. I do think the guy has potential. He can work a mic, and he definitely has charisma. There are signs that he's starting to get over already, but as a wrestler, that guy is green as grass, and it shows. I mean, he dropped Eric Young right on his head. Aside from that botched spot, the match was okay, but no reason for this to be on pay-per-view. I think Magnus is very much a work in progress right now. My advice to TNA, keep him off pay-per-view for the time being. Have him work short matches on TV and long matches on house shows until he improves, and for God's sake, ditch the Gladiator outfit. Matt Morgan and Abyss match at 10,000 tax. For some reason, this got about half the time as their match last month when Matt Morgan was coming off of shoulder surgery. I don't know what that's about. I really don't have a lot to say about this match. It was pretty paint by numbers. Wasn't particularly good or bad. It was just there. Matt Morgan got the win, so that evens the score, and I think this feud is about out of gas. So it's time to do something different with these guys. The Sheik Abdul Bashir thing, just a waste of time. Had no place on a pay-per-view. Then again, I really don't want to see it on Impact either. Oh, the Win a Date with ODB contest. If you guys think I'm even going to acknowledge this piece of shit long enough to review it, think again. Although I will point out that this god-awful segment was given more time than several of the wrestling matches on this pay-per-view. The Knockouts Championship match. Awesome Kong versus some jobber Bolt. Like I said numerous times in my last few videos, I did not agree at all with Bolt being in this position, getting this title shot, and now you know why. This was, without a doubt, the worst Knockouts title match in the history of the Knockouts division. Before the crowd completely died, they were cheering for Awesome Kong and did not give a rat's ass about Bolt, and with good reason. Bolt has not had a single good performance yet, and with this match, she took that bar and lowered it that much more. She completely botched that spot on the ropes, looked absolutely horrid, and after that, there was no saving this match. And to the person who sent me that message, in all caps, telling me to stop criticizing Josie so much, all I have to say to that person is, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. Awesome Kong. It's obvious they're just treading water with her right now, just killing time until Sarah Stock shows up. And some jobber Bolt, get this woman off my TV screen for the love of God. Get her out of TNA, send her to the unemployment line, and take Rocket Khan with you. Now let us never speak of this match again. Samoa Joe versus Scott Steiner. The match went about 2 minutes and then ended in a DQ because Samoa Joe was going batshit crazy all over Steiner and the referees and everything. And Joe definitely looked like a monster, so I got what I wanted, just not the way I wanted it. And later on, Joe was seen in the parking lot covered with dirt and blood on that big knife he's been carrying around. So apparently Samoa Joe murdered Scott Steiner and then buried the body. Yay? Off the Wagon Challenge, Beer Money versus Team 3D for the tag team titles. There was nothing really wrong with the match until Beer Money got themselves DQ'd. Then Jim Cornette came out, restarted the match under no DQ rules. Here's the problem with this. Something really similar happened in the main event Genesis. Jim Cornette came out, tried to restart the match, but apparently he didn't have the authority to restart the match, so Mick Foley had to do it. So if Jim Cornette does not have the authority to restart matches, how the hell did he restart this one? So is this what you do now, TNA? You set up a rule and then you break it the first time you can't think of anything better to do? Oh, that's nice. That's great writing, TNA. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Beer Money keep their titles because they just leave. That's it. They just took their belts and they left the arena. So apparently Cornette has the authority now to restart matches and change stipulations on the fly, as long as said stipulations do not include no countout. My head hurts. Main event, Sting versus Kurt Angle. The match was okay until all the overbooking started, and that was when the whole thing fell apart for me. They did not go for the obvious Foley heel turn, thankfully, but that is not to say what they did was good, because it wasn't. Basically, what they did was made Foley look completely incompetent, and then they did the same thing to Kurt Angle, because even with Foley's ineptitude, Angle still could not win the match. So in one fell swoop, they made Foley look like crap, and then they made Angle look like crap. As for Sting, I know the guy's knees are hurting him, but if this is the best he's capable of these days, then take the title off him. I don't care what the original plans were. Take the title off him before he drags down another pay-per-view main event. And that's really all I've got to say about Destination X. The Ultimate X match was awesome. And if you want to see that, I'm sure somebody's uploaded it by now. But if you're considering ordering the replay of this pay-per-view, don't. Okay, just don't. Just don't.